Thank you.
Yes. Where are you from, Brody? You are from the Philippines?
Yes, I'm from the Philippines. Yes.
Ah, which exactly in the Philippines? Because I'm also from the Philippines.
Well, I live in Arayat, Pampanga.
Pampanga. Ah, where in Angeles, Pampanga?
Arayat.
Because before I also live in Angeles, Pampanga. I think 2 years. I was there working in the English Academy. The owner was Korean.
Okay.
Mm. Okay, but I wonder why you're always wearing glasses.
I think it has to do with
You don't
well,
want to
number one,
you don't want to
no,
show
no,
your eyes.
we partly, yeah, partly, yeah, that's one of the reasons. But I think one of the reasons is that, well, well, it's it isn't always the case that I wear glasses. I don't wear sunglasses every day, but
Mm-mm.
like I think as soon as I was like maybe six
Online.
months old, 6 months old,
Uh-huh.
I saw a picture of mine.
Mm.
Like I was just a a 6 year old being carried around by my sisters, and I always had sunglasses on. So I think that
Uh,
it like this is some kind of a part of my psychology, if you will.
because I was thinking maybe you don't want to show your face on social media, so that's why you're always wearing sunglasses.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons.
I
Because I'm
understand.
particularly like
Mm.
like well, I don't know if you could call it a sign of insecurity, but
Yeah, I
I'm not really
understand.
fond of my the shape and the size of my eyes.
Uh-huh. I see. I understand. Okay. I just wonder. All right. So you've been in the academy, I mean, in the group for how many months? Because saw you last time when we had our Fluency Month challenge in the group.
Yeah, I think I've been around for maybe almost a year, but like I've yeah, I think for so many months I really had never checked it out, and then then I saw many people. Suddenly I saw that many people had posted their videos, and I told myself, okay, well, I'm just going to check this out. And what are they doing? What's going on?
Mm.
And so when I saw that it was a challenge, I thought, oh, okay, I'm just going to give it a try.
Yeah, sure. Why not? And then you are a blogger also?
No, I'm not.
No?
Well, I have. Well, I honestly have a YouTube account, but it's not.
Uh-huh.
It
Mm.
isn't active.
Because I saw your background, you have the ring light.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I also use ring light whenever I record my videos, so that's why I thought you were also a blogger.
Yeah.
Mm, okay.
Yeah, I would love to like become an active blogger, if you will,
Uh-huh.
but I think that the stakes are high. By that I mean, even if you had no plan to become famous and let's
Mm-mm.
say earn a lot of money out of it, let's say if you were doing if you simply wanted to do it for fun, I think that connecting with people would be very much difficult nowadays because I think that the algorithm of YouTube favors those who like have what you might call extravagant setups
That's right.
and backgrounds, and so that's not something that I would like to invest in.
Uh-huh. Yeah, absolutely. Because you also have to be consistent when you are a YouTuber. Because if you just upload your videos like this week you upload and then you will upload next month, so the algorithm decrease. So that's why most bloggers, they always have to post their videos at least once a week, or if you can do it 3 times a week, so
Yeah.
that's algorithm increases. Oh wait, someone's joining, let me accept. Who's this? All right. Michael, I think. He's also active nowadays in the group, always posting his task. I think he's doing another challenge and then he also posted in the group. Glad that you're always active nowadays.
like it's like to me, so long as there is a challenge that I find interesting, I just join it.
Mm-hmm.
Although I'm going to be honest and say that sometimes I don't know if the things that I'm doing in challenges
Yeah.
are rather acceptable or even admirable, even a little bit.
Yes. Mm. Anyway, are you an English teacher or what do you do?
Um, yes and no. No, because my background, which I am not really proud of, is elementary education.
Uh-huh.
So that's my background, and then as soon as I graduated from my university, I went to I went to a graduate schools that offered Master of Arts in English, major in applied linguistics, simply because I thought it was fun, and it was fun.
Yeah.
But as soon as as soon as I reached the final challenge,
Uh,
that's
uh,
to
uh.
say
Mhm.
the graduate thesis.
Mm,
That's when lots of problems
that's right.
started showing
Mm,
themselves.
mm,
And so I thought, like, this is too much for me, like, it's too complicated. I need a laboratory, I need to gather data and all those things, and things are far more complicated than it ever was when I was in university. And so I don't think I'm going to be able to finish it. I'm just going to switch courses. But
mhm.
with that said, nowadays I study for another bachelor's degree, and this
Mm,
bachelor's degree is fun because I love it. It's Bachelor of Arts in English,
okay.
in Cap College Foundation.
Mm.
I mainly study online, which is really challenging because I really have no instructors or professors. There is no one to guide me. I just have to
Uh,
study all by
but by
myself.
yourself. Ah, so you
Yeah.
study online? Online?
Um, yeah, it's online because we have an online portal.
Mm, 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 mm.
No, because you have to, no, because I have to study all the modules by myself.
That's right. You mean the AMA computer?
No,
AMA
Cap College
on Cap
Foundation.
College. Because I studied before the AMA
Mhm,
online. That was the Bachelor of Arts in English.
mhm.
So yeah, like you said, I have to study by my own pace. I have my module, my own portal, and then no teacher. I just watch the videos and then just do all the exercises by myself. No teachers
Okay.
taught me, so that's why. But it's good if you're a working student. You can study by your own at the same time. You can work. Yeah, especially those uh, don't have time to go to the normal classes at school.
Yeah.
Mm. All right, let's welcome to Ayo. Welcome
Hello,
back,
Lynn.
Ayo. Long time no see.
Yes, long time no see. Yes, that's correct.
How have you been?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you for asking. How about you?
Busy as always.
I'm busy. Okay.
Yes. I have time today to host a meeting, so that's
Mhm.
why. Mm.
Thank you for the meeting.
Oh, sure. My pleasure. Today we are going to talk about what is that? What was our topic? Essential ways to build self-control. Have you read my post in the group?
Not really. That because I just see the event and then I click to, yeah, to add on my calendar, but I'm not see your topic there.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
I see. You can check on the created event. At the same time, I'll also post it in the normal post. But anyway, I'm going to share my screen so everyone can see it, so we can discuss.
Oh, about set the
Mm,
goal.
mm, mm, mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Michael or Mikal. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Mikal. he tried many times to join the meeting, but still connecting. Maybe he has problem with his connections. So maybe guys, we can start now because we only have 1 hour, right? So let me share my screen. Where is it? Here. You see my screen?
Mhm.
Uh-oh. This one. All right. So we're going to talk about what is this? Let me see. Admit all. Okay. Okay, so here, set clear goals. Define specific achievable goals. This gives you a clear target to focus on, especially your financial or self-improvements or any goals that you really wanted to achieve in your life. So you have to set goals. For example, in your financial, this month or next year, I have to earn at least $10,000 a month, right? Because if you just say, I'm going to earn lots of money, but there's no specific goals that how much money you really want to earn. So it's better you have to make your goals. All right. So let's move on to Roddy. What do you think about this? Setting goals, clear goals. Would you agree?
I'm not really good at goal setting, but what I do is that I divide my goals into, let's say, two goals basically. The first one being the small goals, if you will. These are highly achievable goals that I can like pretty much achieve every day. For example, after having a meal, I read like 4 books a day. I'm not saying that four books straight. I mean like maybe one chapter of a book, one chapter of a book, and then I read 4 books. So that makes it 4 chapters. So I read 4 chapters after meals. So that's very achievable. And then I spend like an hour each day studying for my bachelor's degree.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just do my best to make my classes as active and as productive as possible. So these are small but highly achievable goals. And on the other hand, I have what you might call big goals. And the only big goals that I have now in mind is I have this goal of graduating by the end, I'm at least before 2025 ends. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I only have 6 subjects left, and then I'm going to be graduating and getting my new bachelor's degree. But while I could like maybe cheat on the process, that's not something that I want to do, because for me, every part of the learning process is important.
That's
the point
right.
is to learn, and I see the bachelor's degree as some kind of a byproduct. Although, of course, we all know that it's also a goal, and it's actually the big goal. But to me, I see it as a byproduct rather than like what you might call your God or your Lord itself. I mean, the point is to learn really in each and every from each and every lesson.
That's right. Absolutely agree with you. And you only have 6 subjects. Well, you will graduate soon.
Yes.
Congratulations in advance. So
Thank you.
after that, are you doing your thesis nowadays, or
as soon as I've got my second bachelor's degree, I think I'm gonna look for a school that offers maybe a master's degree in English, but this time I wanted to major in literature instead, because linguistics is crazy. So I'm just gonna enjoy literature.
Yeah, I see. I got it. But during your, I mean, during your thesis, do you have your group mates to do it, or just by yourself?
Well, if we're talking about, so I really have anything to talk about? Yeah, I do. I've really never experienced working in a group, really.
Mm.
When I was in, when I was in university, well, I really had the group initially, but due to differences in principles, I just wanted to work by myself and
Oh.
finish a whole thesis by myself, even though I was just a university student. And then, well, I think in any graduate school, whether you like it or not, you have
Yes.
to work by yourself.
Yeah. Well, if you already have experience, then you can do it by yourself. Then it's better, so you don't have to wait for your group mates, because sometimes time consequences, and then it takes long time to finish your thesis. That was
Yeah.
happened to me, because we live different countries. I'm living in South Korea and they're living in Dubai and Hong Kong.
Oh,
So
no.
that's why, oh my goodness, it took too long for us to finish our thesis. So
Okay.
that's why, if you can do it by yourself, then just do it. All right, I hope you will finish your degree soon. Let's move on to Ayo. What about you, Ayo? Are you setting goals every time you have something you really want to obtain?
Yeah, I'm in the middle process to make a goal. That because I decide this year I have a resolution for my English speaking. So this kind like my journey to make this goal for this year, even though I know that I will not ready or fluency in English, but at least I can say something here, and then talk with you, share my mind, share my opinion, and try to say something at least in the middle of the meeting. So that yeah, I'm proud of myself as well, that before, since last year, I'm not able to speak.
Last year?
Yes,
I think
yes,
last year you started joining my meeting since last year.
yes. I mean, last year I'm joined with the other community. So this year I joined in your community. So last year I'm not able to say something. I just can say my name is Ayu. I'm from Indonesia. I'm live in Bali. That's it. Nothing else. And then that because I decided to improve my speaking, I setting my habit and my commitment to practice speaking, to learn something in English, and try to remember the vocabulary, especially new vocabulary that I got from every time I attend a meeting. So every day I'm trying to attend a meeting every day and talk with the others, talk with our friend here, which is I would like to use English as my daily conversation. And even though I'm not using advanced word in my sentences, but at least you can say, and then they understand what you say here. So that's it. And then that because this is not the end of this year,
Sure.
I cannot say that I'm already goal in this and this issue. So I'm waiting until December if I have a progress. I'm really proud of myself, that because I'm already put some achievement for these activities, and I sacrifice of my time, that because when I just back from the office, usually I watch the drama.
English?
And yeah, drama, yeah. I watch the drama episode. So after I decide to learn English, I tune on my habit, watch the drama, and then now always intend with the attending a meeting in this community or the other community. Just want to practice my speaking every
That's
day.
good.
Yeah,
Yes, yeah.
that's from me.
Sure. Just keep going, Ayu, okay? As long as you can express your thoughts and everyone understands what you're saying and then you understand them, then just keep going. Later on, you will reach your fluency goals. Okay?
Thank you.
Keep studying. So, number 2, what is number 2? Create a plan. Okay, so outline steps to reach your goals. Having a plan can help you stay on track and avoid impulsive decisions. So, what is your plan? So, you have to, it's better to write it down because if you don't have plan, you just what is this? Go with the flow. You don't have really planned to finish this task within this year. Or within this month, I have to finish my project because you just it's okay. Just delay
Oh no.
without any. That's better to create a plan to accomplish your goals. Roddy, do you create a plan?
I do. But I don't put them on paper because what I to me like well, of course, writing your plans, it's not really a bad thing. I think it's good, but I don't do it for the simple reason that I set, as I've said earlier, I set small goals for myself, and when those small goals are accumulated, they lead to what you might call the big goal, if you will. But I just do it in pretty much almost everything that I do in life. For example, currently I'm reading Plato's The Republic, and for me it's not really an easy book to read, and so I only read like a page a day, and then I summarize the arguments, and then that's it. I call it a day with this book. It's just a page a day or two. And that's achievable, highly achievable. That's the plan, like just a page a day or two. And then when I was like, I don't know, maybe an absolute beginner in when I way back when I was much younger, and basically I decided to like take my English seriously, because as a child I really never was serious about anything. I just wanted to play. But when I started to when I started taking my English seriously, I didn't have any grand plan, but what I did have was small plans. Like, for example, for this week, I'm just going to master all the English tenses and the conditionals for this week. I'm just going to focus on these basics. I'm not going to focus on pronunciation or anything. Just these things. And then, well, after that, I told myself, okay, now I'm going to focus on what you might call mainstream British English. So I'm just going to focus on that for a week. And then next week, okay, it's another week. I'm done with my two small goals. So there's another goal, and there's the next goal is to combine what you might call British grammar with British pronunciation, and just live with it. Use it. Practice.
I think that is a good strategy, good methods that you can follow through. So at least you finish this goal and then you jump to another goal. Because if you have too many goals one at a time, and then you confuse what are you going to do first. So it's better, this one I already finished, and then I can study another one. That's better. So create a plan. Oh, you have a good strategy. So just keep going. So, okay, number 3, practice mindfulness. Stay present and aware of your thoughts and feelings. Mindfulness can help you recognize triggers before acting or on them. Mhm. Practice mindfulness. Make sure you think wisely before making or before acting, before making a decision, so you won't regret later on. So be aware of your own thoughts and feelings. For example, if you encounter bad situations and you act directly or harshly, so make sure you listen first to your feelings and think wisely. What should I do? How to react in that case? All right. Oh, sorry, Ayo. Did I ask you about creating a plan?
No, not yet.
I jump on to number 3. I'm
Okay.
sorry, Ayo. Moving on to Ayo. Go ahead.
Okay, create a
Mm.
plan like I mentioned before. I'm create a plan to attend all the meeting, and then I create a plan. Every day I must practice speaking English. At least 10 minutes is enough before I go before I start work and after back from the office.
Mhm.
If I can day to day increase my time to practice my English, I think it will be good. So that's I have planned. And then the other side can like try to read a new word when you attend the meeting. So I learn something from my friend as well when they are say something in the meeting. And then if this word is quite new for me, I try to write down and remember, and then try to create my own sentences with this new words. So that's my plan. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree with you, because if you don't use any word that you learn, then easy to forget. So it's better if you can use in your daily life conversation or in your workplace, then try to use them. Or try to practice right on your notebook and try to make your own sentences and read it out loud. Right? Okay, thank you very much, Ayu. Moving on to Roddy. How about number 3? Practice mindfulness.
Oh, this is a this is a very like gigantic concept for me because while if I may mention this, like it seems that numbers 1 and 2, setting clear goals and creating a plan, they seem to contradict practicing mindfulness, because obviously, like if you practice mindfulness, you can only be mindful of the present. You can't be mindful of the future because it doesn't exist. You can only focus on the present. But at the same time, if you look at setting clear goals and creating a plan, well, when you do these things, well, you have a what you might call an ideal future. What do you think the future should be, or what it's gonna be? And so they just don't seem to get along together. But to me, yeah, they don't go at the same time, at the same moment, in the same respect. They don't, but they complement each other, which make them really great. Because like for example, in my particular case, when I started taking my English seriously, and now that I work as an online English teacher, I teach my students basically to do the same things that I did. What I tell them is, okay, so we have your goals, we have you have your plan, but I want you to practice mindfulness as you practice English, because it's very easy to just say, okay, I'm gonna read books in English and watch videos in English and study with my teacher 3 times a week, and that's pretty much it. No, that's not it. They are great, they're good, they can help you, but you also want to be mindful of the things that you're doing, because that's how we learn. I always tell my friends and my students, I I appreciate that you put in every effort that you can to, like, maybe practice your writing, and you now can think in English, even in basic English. But I also want you to feel to feel in English, to
That's
really
right.
feel your mouth working, to feel every emotive adjective in English, feel them. Because while we could say that, while all the research in linguistics and particularly in language learning could be summarized as, well, live in English.
That's
But
right.
the question is, how do you live? Well, obviously you have to have your feelings involved, because that's how we live. And so it stands to reason that if you want to live in English, then you also have to think and feel in English. So yeah, you ought to be you have to be mindful if you really want to learn as maximally as possible.
Absolutely, right? Because you're just learning and then you don't really like it, then you don't really care later on, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it wastes time. And then now I'm just learning this to pass my degree because of my parents push me. So you should, yeah, practice mindfulness. You should feel it. This language, you should love it, so you can apply into your life. Great thoughts, Roddy. Thanks for sharing. What about Ayu?
Practice mindfulness. Yes, I mean, I'm not quite ambitious person, which is I have a goal. I'm create activities to reach my goal. But I also realize that I cannot make a goal with the short time, So this is not your language. This is the other language. It means that you just try to learn this language, and then even a native speaker, they will not fluency in a short time as well. They need practice. They need learn with their own language as well. So for me, I will just want to say that I'm not too hard push myself. Intense with this all everything in English, and I'm trying to enjoy my journey to
The process.
to process to reach my goal in English. So that mindfulness.
Oh, yes, just enjoy the process. That's good phrase, right? Because if you're really like pushing yourself and then you don't love it, you don't happy what you're doing, then the outcome is not good, right?
Yeah.
So just enjoy the process as long as you're learning and meeting with other learners, making friends from different countries. So why not, right? Just keep going. You should not complain. Why? I've been studying English for many years, but why I still can't speak quickly, easily? I still don't understand native speakers. So just enjoy the process. It takes time, right? There's no magic. All right, guys, good job. Now, moving on to number 4, limit temptations. Remove distractions or temptations from your environment. For example, avoid keeping junk food in the house or limit access to shopping in apps. So, because nowadays there are many distractions. For example, if you are studying English and you tend to use your phone and then you end up scrolling the newsfeed and waste time, then yes, you can't get back the time you wasted. So limit yourself to those temptations. And if you are a shopaholic, so you better not to install shopping apps in your phone, because you keep scrolling and then maybe you spend too much money and then you don't really need those things, right? So be aware of your actions. Let's move on to Roddy, limit temptations. What do you think about it?
Well, obviously when we say temptations, we mean things that can like distract us from our goals. For
That's
example, like
right.
if you're reading a book and you have your phone just beside you, it may be tempting
Keep
to just
checking.
like keep checking your Facebook account or whatever. But to me, temptations can also extend to what you might call the psychological level of learning. For example, it's it is indeed tempting to, let's say, aspire to achieve great goals when you are just a beginner. It's especially if you are a highly ambitious person, you might like have a very unrealistic view of any possible future. For example, like if this is true, at least in my experience, there are parents who spend a lot of money on their children's education, particularly in English language education, expecting
right.
their students to just be fluent, be as fluent as a native speaker.
That's right.
Which is not really a bad thing. I completely understand it, but like they expect too much from their from their from this from the
Their
children, that
Mm.
when the children in reality have only been learning English for like, I don't know, 6 months, and
Mhm.
that's a very short time. You can't expect like
Native speaker.
absolute beginners, 6 months, like maybe A1, A2 students to speak and write like C2 students.
That's
That's
right.
just impossible. So while again, I'm not against setting grand goals, but you want to focus on small goals. Again, practicing mindfulness has to do with this. You want to be mindful of how your mind, basically it's mind over mind. You want to be mindful of how your mind perceives reality, because your reality could be red, but it could be blue, right? So it's the same with learning. And another temptation that even advanced learners are not an exception to this, even C2 learners. I'm not a C2 learner, but I there are times that I think that my English is very limited. That's what I think. Well, usually it's just me. My friends don't tell me that. My family doesn't tell me that. But sometimes I think it's limited. But then when I think about like the richness of any language, basically, it's not just English. You you always have your limits, whether you like it or not. For example, if you want, if let's say, for example, if you were to tell yourself now, I wanted to be really fluent in English, like above C2, if you will, if it did exist, right? What do you mean by that? Like, do you what by that do you mean you want to speak in English about, let's say, sociology and psychology and biology and then anthropology? I mean, that's just impossible. Yes, like I'm a time and energy are very limited. So if that's the fluency that you want, then well, I'm afraid that you might fall into depression, because like
That's right.
we can only learn as much, really. Well, again, I'm not against setting goals, but you want your goals to be as realistic as possible.
That's right. Absolutely. Thank you very much, Roddy. Let's welcome to Belinda. Welcome to my live. Oh, this is your
Hey,
first time
Belinda.
joining my meeting.
Hey, look at me, looking my best this morning. I just woke
You
up.
just woke up. Oh, okay. Glad you can make it today. Okay.
I wanted to say hello to you and all you guys. I mean, this is my first meeting here. I'm glad I was able to attend. I want to thank you for creating the Fluency community, and thank you for letting me post stuff, because I feel like I've been, posting a lot of stuff, like, and I never get the opportunity to say that. Thank you for having this platform for the people. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I'm also thankful for your support to our members in the group. You're helping a lot to them, and you're spending your time with them without asking any in return, right? So I'm really grateful for that. And yeah, so just keep going what you love to do in the group.
Of course.
So
Thanks.
yes, so now we're on the limit temptation. So let's go back to Ayo first. Okay, Ayo, what do you think about limit temptations?
Limit temptation is kind of like you must commitment with your what are you doing right now. So try not distract with the others. Like in my office, they just admit three languages there: English, Spanish, and French. So I took English as a communicate with them, as a language communicate with them, and then sometimes I'm curious about Spanish as well. And okay, and then yeah, I'm trying to what is hold my feeling want to learn something new from the other language. So so that's why I'm trying to keep learn English at the moment until I'm feel confident enough to say something in the middle of formal things like a meeting or write the email with the with the formal sentences there. So if I'm feel good enough for that, maybe I will go into the another language like Spanish or French. So
Spanish.
yes, yeah. So until now, I'm still commitment with English first. Maybe if I want to know about the other language, it means that I want to greeting with them if they come to my office and just say gracias. I can say just a few words that just only for greetings. So I think that's enough for at the moment.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ayu. What about Belinda? Limit temptations, number 4. We are on number 4.
Okay, this is okay. Limit temptations. Whether I can give a real life example. Being taking breaks from social media because it is a temptation. Because I gotta get things done. I gotta take care of my house, and living the real life here. And sometimes TikTok gets addicted. Facebook gets addictive. So I've been taking breaks from that. I only go in there when I'm gonna post something that okay, meetings and stuff. But I'm kind of doing a self-assessment of how am I using social media so I don't become I don't waste my time, and also on television I don't watch much television anymore. The older I get, the more I want to experience life more like realistically, going out there, meeting people in real time, spending time in nature. So that's how I limit myself from temptations, because if I put myself out there too much and just looking at people, what they're doing, if I focus on what they're doing, I'm not focused on what I'm doing. And I like to work on me too. So that's how I limit the temptations of trying to keep up with the Jones.
That's right. So because if you always keep checking other posts and keep commenting, so you can't focus what you're going to do, what you have to finish. So that's why, or for example, every Monday I have to post this content, just every Monday. That's your schedule. After that, just leave it. So you won't keep scrolling those stuff, time consuming, right?
Right.
Thank you very much. What about use a budget? So this is all about financial self-control. So create a stick to a budget. This helps you manage your finances and resist unnecessary spending. So do you create a budget? For example, this month I have to spend just $300 for my clothes, $200 for my other stuff, and the rest of your income you set aside and save money, save it for your, just in case if there's some emergencies, you have money to use it. So use a budget. Roddy, do you?
Well, I'm very poor when it comes to but budgeting my finances.
Mhm.
Well, I'm not really a spender. Don't spend a lot. I don't spend a lot of money on, let's say, luxuries, if you will.
Mhm.
I treat myself from time to time, maybe just every 2 months or 3 months. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And then I always make a point to save up for my education. And then yes, sometimes I buy myself like a few books, cheap
Mhm.
books, just pre-loved books, if you will. Uh, but that's pretty much it. I don't spend a lot of money, so I don't think that managing my finances to like every cent or every peso, if you will. I
Mhm.
don't do that because I don't want to stress. I don't want to unnecessarily stress myself out. And then also, to me, while of course saving up for whatever it is that you're saving up for, in a way, spending, let's say, like maybe 10% of your money for, let's say, having yourself educated. I think that's just a nice way of treating yourself. If that's what you enjoy, of course, you could spend your money on restaurants if you like, but that's just a part of showing yourself compassion. Because like, if you are somebody who, like, let's say, love helping people, let's say you love giving to the poor, you give money to those who don't have like lots of money to go to school because of poverty. If you are that kind of person, well, if if you are that compassionate to others, then I think it's reasonable to be compassionate to yourself and treat yourself from time to time. And that does not, of course, entail that you're going to be necessarily spending lots of money on luxuries. So yeah, I'm not really good at uh, budgeting, really. Although I would also say that I am not a big spender. Lynn, you're muted. Lynn, you're muted. Lynn, you're muted.
Okay. All right, I'm back. Someone muted me. Oh, I didn't do it. All right, so yeah, I totally agree with you, Roddy. So you should know how to spend your money wisely, and don't be stingy to yourself. Treat yourself because you earn it, and then you should also, as long as you are using your money wisely, and why not? How about Ayu? Are you still there, Ayu? Let's welcome to Herman. Long time no see, Herman.
Hi, hello, everybody.
Glad
How
you're
are
back.
you? Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Oh,
But sorry, I'm late.
yeah, I saw
Are
you
you
keep
discussing
trying
about?
to join the meeting, but are having a problems with your connection.
Yes, I
Mm-hmm.
was downloading the application version because when I try to go directly with the browser,
Mm-hmm.
I have problem with that. So I after download the application, would and everything is okay now.
This is your first time using this app, right?
Yes,
Because
yes.
before we used Zoom, but Zoom just only gives us 40 minutes. So nowadays I don't really use Zoom. I use these apps because we can talk at least 1 hour or more. Yeah, so that's why. I
Um,
found this app from my students. She is from China. Her teacher
uh,
introduced this app to me. So that's why I'm using this, and it's free. Because Zoom, if you upgrade, you have to subscribe, right?
Yes.
And I don't really host meetings often, so that's why it's not worth it if I'm upgrading to Pro. So yeah, it's still.
But I have a question. This boot application let you create breakout rooms?
Yeah, sure, same Zoom. Still, I can
Okay.
also record it.
It's better.
Yeah, yeah. So that's why I'm keep using this app. Okay, so moving on to Ayu.
Yeah. Okay. Number 5, use a budget. Yes. As a finance, I must stick with my budget. If I have a salary, I just try to divide my salary into maybe what is a 5 what is a how to say that in English? 5. I divide to 5 minutes and then yeah, use my budget for shopping,
Shopping.
just for if I have a budget for shopping, I just use on that amount, not the others. So that's why I can still save my money. And then you know that we cannot predict in the future about our health or something like that. That because when you turn out with the medicine and go to the doctor in the future, maybe you will have to spend a lot of money for that. So I take insurance for this and also saving money for me in the future. That's it. It's helped me 2 minutes my
Manage
finance.
your
Yes.
income, finances.
Yeah.
Set aside for those maybe we don't know in the future, right? So as long
Yes,
as you
that's
are
it.
always ready when any circumstances happen. Okay, thank you very much, Ayo. What about you, Belinda? Use a budget.
Okay, so I specifically don't go every month and say I'm going to use this budget. I would lie if I said I'm do that, but I do control my finances. Like I don't overspend, and I do take time to think, hey, should I spend on this? Is this gonna be like, is this something that I want, or this is something that I love? This is something this is something that I learned from somebody that was speaking about finances. Like, ask yourself, do I need it and I love it, or do I like it and I want it? If it's a like and a want, it's not that important. It might be just something I want out of just for spending. But if I really love it and I need it, I'm gonna purchase it. So that's the way I see it. I don't overspend. So I do have good self-control when it comes to money. I might say, yeah, I take pride on that. Even though I don't know how to you are an expert in finances. I am not. So I just count. My self-control is just making sure, do I really need this? If I don't need it, okay, I'm not gonna get it.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's what I have to say. Yeah.
That's right.
Simple. I keep it simple. Yeah.
Good job, Belinda. Yes, you know how to manage your money wisely. What about Herman? Do you use a budget every month? Your expenses?
Yes. In fact, well, I'm married. I'm the typical husband. My task is make the money, and my wife is the person who manage the budget and all the money. And of course, we have a budget. Well, we used to separate in a bank account. In some account we used to save money because with some emergencies. In other account, spend daily.
Daily expenses.
Yes, and in other account, we have our own entrepreneurial company where we used to manage the money in that way. Yeah. So yes, we used to use a
That's
budget.
great. All right. Thank you very much. Okay, so moving on to establish routines, develop daily routines that promote positive behaviors, such as regular exercise exercise, healthy eating, and scheduled work times. Okay, so establish daily routines. For example, if you go to work, let's say you start working at 9, so you should have to wake up at least 2 hours before, so you won't in hurry or in rush. You have to catch your train or your bus and you're running out of time. So have a daily routine. Exercise at least, if you really care of your health, then 3 or 4 times a week doing exercises is enough. I do exercise regularly. Healthy eating. So you should not eat all the time meat. You should balance, right? You should eat fruits or vegetables. At the same time, some soups or whatever, okay? Or not drinking too much soda or alcohol. So be aware of your healthy diet as well. So moving on to Roddy. What about establish your daily routines?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that I'm particularly good at establishing routines, but what I do is that I think of the things that are necessary. For example, the things that I can't help but do. For example, let's say eating. Of course, it's necessary. I need to eat. So what I do is, instead of setting up a particular schedule for, let's say, reading books, what I do is, as soon as I've had, let's say, my breakfast or my lunch, I just start reading. Before anything else, I just read after each and every after meal, and so that makes me learn more from the books that I'm reading,
Mm-hmm.
and that kind of like basically whenever I'm eating, it reminds me that I'm about to read, so I can't
Mhm.
fool around because I really want to read. So but again, with practice, it of course becomes a habit. Some people say that it takes like 3 weeks to establish a routine. Some people say that it's a month, but whatever the case may be, I think that the point is to make it as doable as possible. Do everything in your power so that you won't forget to do the things that you want to do.
Mhm.
Like, for example, let's say if you want to start reading novels, or maybe nonfiction, if you are into fiction, then maybe if you want to be you are into fiction, or you want to establish a routine reading fiction books, then you find yourself you always find that you're busy, you have lots of things going on, then I think that maybe putting your nonfiction book, or your fictional book on the middle of your bed will remind you to read before you sleep.
That's
So
right.
basically that's do whatever do everything in your power to establish a routine. It takes
That's
time,
right.
but it's workable.
Absolutely. Guys, we only have 7 minutes left. Yes. So maybe we can have a quick answer. So let's move on to Ayo.
Yeah, I'm trying to try to have a healthy eating. Like I'm not eating what is the sugar and salt anymore. It's all it's already 3 years ago. So when I drink a coffee, I'm drink without sugar. If I cook something, I will not eat salt in my in my food. So that's I'm trying until now. I don't know.
Are you hurry because of our time is
Yeah,
running?
yeah.
I
So
see.
everybody will have an answer now.
Yeah, chance to say something. Okay, Belenta, you're mute.
Belinda, you're muted. Okay.
Yeah, here I'm back. So I do have a weekly routine. In the mornings, I do get up to right now that is kind of kind of going towards winter here. I have to have a So I bought a sunlight. It's like a monitor that gives me sunlight, like that mimics the sunlight. Because if I don't, I get really sluggish throughout my day because I don't get enough sun. So I have to, in the morning, I get up, I do that for an hour. While that is happening, I'm reading, meditating, reading, and then I came here. Like then I can do anything else, but I had to have that sunlight in winter months. On Wednesday, I do Zumba. I walk every day, a long walk. So I do that as a way of exercising. I'm not going to say I'm super perfect with dieting, but I do my best to eat. I do love vegetables. Oh, I love vegetables. And I try to keep a healthy balance diet, but I still like sweets.
You still love sweets.
Yeah.
But as long
yeah.
as you minimize not to eat too much, right?
Right. Yeah.
Oh, I see. What about Herman?
Yes, similar. I used to take care from Monday to Saturday, healthy foods, and just Saturday maybe and Sunday we used to taste everything, no? And about exercise, of course, I used to go to run daily and do some gym exercises also. Yes.
Good. Just keep going. All right, guys. We only have 4 minutes left, so I would like to say thank you to all of you. Thanks for showing up to our live meetup today's. So, what about Belinda? I would like to say thank you for all your support in the group. And I
Thank
wonder
you.
if you're working or not because you're very active nowadays.
Well, let's see. I'm very flexible. I have a business, but I have not done much with it because it's like, my husband is the breadwinner, and I work when I get a client. If I don't get a client, meh. So I haven't got any client lately. So yes, I'm more flexible, and I do have a work that I do, but for free. I volunteer in the community. Like every week, I'm volunteering in the community. I'm working towards eradicating food insecurity in my community. So I collaborate with people from different organizations, with the government, churches that provide food for people in general without discrimination. So yeah. So you could say I work, but I'm not making the money. Maybe I don't need it. You know what I mean?
I see.
You know?
Anyway, your husband, supports you.
Yeah, he makes
It's
the money,
okay.
and I work for the community. Yeah.
That's right. Oh, you're so active and
Mhm.
kind. Thank you very much. Thank you
For
so much, Roddy. You want to say something before we end up this meeting?
Well, it's nice to have participated in this meeting today because I think it was last week or 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago. I wanted to, or maybe 3 weeks ago. I don't remember, but there was a time that I was particularly waiting for, like 7 o'clock in Vietnamese time, for this meeting to start, because because I thought, well, every Sunday, Lynn hosts meetings, but then at the time there was no meeting, so I was a little frustrated.
Yeah. Actually,
So
guys, Belinda, you
no,
want to
sorry.
say
I was
something?
gonna, what you ended up doing, Roddy, that day?
Well, I read books.
Actually, guys, I'm planning to host a meeting at least once a week because my previous attendees, they were all gone. Nowadays, they're not showing in my meeting because I always skipping. This week I host a meeting, and next week no, and then so I will try to find time to host regularly. All right. So I hope I can see you in my meeting as well regularly. You want to say something before we end?
Thank you so much for this meeting, Lynn. You create the event for us to for the place to practice our speaking here. So thank you so much. I hope
Sure,
I
my
can attend your
pleasure.
meeting for the next.
Sure. Thank you very much as well. What about Herman?
No, yes, thank you very much. This was an interesting topic, and I want to keep practicing and see you next week.
Sure, maybe we can keep up this meeting because there are a few questions. We haven't started some of those questions, so we can have our second sessions. Okay,
Yes.
so have a good weekend, guys, and I will see you in the group. Bye bye, everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Bye.
guys.
Yes,
Bye.
good job.